Elden Ring's upcoming expansion, titled Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, is set to release on the 21st of June. And just like many of you, I have been waiting for this to drop for a long time. This expansion packs in a whole lot of content, so sit back and let me tell you why this is gonna blow your socks off. Firstly, let's take a look at the requirements to access this DLC, since this isn't a standalone expansion. With the base game installed, you'll need to have beaten Radahn and Mohg. Then, at the Cocoon of the Empyrean Side of Grace, which is Mohg's arena, you'll need to interact with Miquella's Cocoon to travel to the Land of Shadows, the new map. The Cocoon was expected, but I wonder why we need to beat Radahn to access this DLC. I guess we'll find out. Fromsoftware's past DLCs have always been bangers, introducing some of the best bosses and playable areas. Bosses like Artorias, Manus, Ludwig, Maria, Orphan of Kos, Slave Knight Gale, Medir. So given the quality of these fights and the areas leading up to them, it's only natural to assume that Shadow of the Erdtree is going to slap, not just in quality but also in quantity. Following the theme of the base game, this expansion aims to recreate the same sense of exploration and overwhelming scale that players felt when playing Elden Ring for the first time. Fromsoftware director Miyazaki has stated that this expansion scale is about the same size as Limgrave, but with a lot more things to do. Things being quests, legacy dungeons, mini dungeons, new enemy types, field bosses, and loot. You remember when he said that the base game is going to take 30 hours to finish? Yeah, this is going to be huge. Almost like in Elden Ring 2. There's a new leveling system in Shadow of the Erdtree where you have to collect fragments to upgrade this new stat called Shadow Realm Blessings. This acts as a buff to your damage output and damage negation over and above your regular stats. It's permanent but only applicable in the Land of Shadows, which means you can't return to the lands between and make use of these. A clever move so that you can't just over-level in the base game and then run through the DLC. But I'm sure there'll be other ways. Additionally, there are similar buffs of this sort for Torrent, your horse, and even spirit summons. There are 8 new weapon classes: Great Katanas, a new throwable weapon class, this sick martial arts looking weapon class, dueling shields, light great swords, perfume bottles, reverse grip swords, not to mention new Ashes of War, which are basically customizable weapon skins that were introduced in Elden Ring. You can clearly see that absolutely no punches are being pulled in the variety department. FromSoft is also going to introduce new sorceries and incantations for all the casters out there. Not satisfied? That's alright, because there's going to be new armor sets and new spirit summons as well if you're not a fan of undivided attention from mobs and bosses. There's even new quest lines given that we have new NPCs exclusive to the DLC. We're also going to finally get to see characters like Saint Trina and Miquella explored further and the relationship between these two. It's time to find out if they're the same person after all. So what are your plans for the DLC? Are you gonna do another Elden Ring playthrough? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, do drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. I'll be seeing you. Bye.
PlayStation